2020, very early on, was crowned by crypto media as the year of decentralized finance, or DeFi. But what is DeFi? The legacy finance world uses banks and governments to determine the rules, is susceptible to manipulation, and often leads to people with power weighing the money scales in their favor to the detriment of everyone else. The lifeblood of any modern industrial economy, things like access to loans, credit, and savings, are largely directed by the whims of politicians and those who seek influence. Rejecting this traditional finance world and instead using cryptocurrency, DeFi opens up access to capital like never before. No barriers to entry, no real-world identity. You can take out loans and earn interest without anyone even asking your name. Within DeFi, the new craze dubbed yield farming is its crack cocaine, driving FOMO and 5-digit token prices. Essentially, yield farming refers to the clever schemes people use their crypto in to earn maximum returns, like staking one crypto to receive some other token that they can then lend out to earn interest somewhere else, and then feeding it back into the system to start all over again. Yield farming is essentially figuring out these strategies and how to earn the most money. Programmable money like Ethereum allows those with crypto holdings to go from passive observers to active participants, putting funds to work. The interoperable world of all the platforms built on top of Ethereum creates a huge amount of liquidity, so variations on traditional financial tools have blossomed there, along with new ways for people to manage their money and create pots of value to leverage. DeFi Pulse is a site that monitors these platforms and has a metric called total value locked, which is the total balance of Ether and ERC20 tokens held in these smart contracts. The total value locked in DeFi is nearing $7 billion as of this video. For perspective, this time last year, all of DeFi TVL barely scratched $500 million, and only a month ago, DeFi TVL was just under $4 billion. Oh yes, it's boom time all right. Leading the charge of late, meme tokens have grabbed the attention of yield farmers. Projects like Yam, Ham, Spaghetti Money, Based, Shrimp, Taco. As kitschy as they sound, meme tokens have taken in boatloads of money. Yam is probably the best known recent example of a meme token and something of a morality tale. It's a perfect story of how quickly DeFi can move. In this case, farmers borrowed from other more established DeFi projects, themselves relatively new, to lock up hundreds of millions of dollars worth of funds in order to farm Yam tokens. In theory, Yam ticked off all the right boxes with claims of fairness, governance, and experiment in elasticity for the yield farming DeFi masses. But it was completely unaudited code. The promise of high yields caused mad crowds to rush in anyway. With less than 3 days of existence, Yam went into DeFi history book infamy. It topped out at around $700 million, only to come crashing down about 48 hours later. RIP Yam. August 11th, 2020 to August 13th, 2020. It was a code bug that caused the crash, even though some skeptics believe that this looked more like a pump and dump scheme all along. But the Yam story might not be over. The project is attempting to pivot into a second version and has hundreds of millions of dollars to play with. Ethereum pundit Anthony Sassano referred to Yam as a money game and Ponzi-like, but doesn't really think it's such a bad thing as long as enthusiasts are wide-eyed and aware of what's at risk. He also said that Yam's mimetic quality and Ponzi-like mechanics resulted in the fastest formation of a global community that he had ever witnessed, and it was all achieved via monetary incentives. In other words, playing with an idea has value. Trying things out has value. Again, so long as everyone understands what's going on is experimental and by definition untested and prone to insane amounts of risk, daring investors, yield farmers, can perhaps stumble into something worth their while. And now the crypto world is taking even greater notice of yield farming as a concept. Enter Yearn.finance. This is an interesting story. It's the brainchild of South African Ethereum developer Andre Cronje. Cronje has been around as a developer for a long time and is well known and respected throughout the cryptocurrency world. His project actually predates Yam, and it gathered traction almost immediately in mid-July of this year. Where Yam was taken less seriously by most enthusiasts, Yearn.finance carried the gravitas of Cointr.ee's reputation. Yearn.finance seeks to be its own ecosystem of aggregation, pulling together DeFi lenders like Aave, Compound, DYDX, and Fulcrum in search of the best yield. Farmers farm farming platforms. Essentially, their tokens are converted into Y tokens. DAI becomes YDAI, USDC becomes YUSDC, and so on. And you rebalance between any of these in order to find the greatest gains. Y tokens are geared to earn both lending and trading fees. Cointr.ee also introduced a governance token, YFI. Initially, YFI was given freely to users who provided liquidity to Yearn.finance. All of it was done without resorting to an initial coin offering or appealing to a venture capital team. There was no pre-mine, no private sales, and no shady allocations out of public view. That's right, Cointr.ee gave away the platform for free. A one-man operation billed as an utter experiment, Cointr.ee continually warned those interested that his project was not for the faint of heart. His Twitter bio reads, "I test in prod." He's essentially building the DeFi plane while flying it. Investors responded. By mid-July, his project had $8 million in assets under management, earning an aggregate 10.58 annual percentage yield. Not bad for a one-man affair. But of course, this is crypto and this is DeFi, and so the story only gets crazier. Cointr.ee also gave away YFI governance tokens for free to those who supported the platform, apparently not concerned with the token itself gaining much value on its own. And in fact, governance tokens until YFI were a dime a dozen everywhere, so he was right to have low expectations. But boy, was he wrong. YFI went from a price of $0 to more than $2,000 in about 2 days. And it wasn't finished. While Cointr.ee was focused on finding the best way to farm yield farmers through bots and automation and building DeFi liquidity pools, the YFI governance token gained in speculative value faster than anyone could have predicted. As of this recording, one YFI governance token is priced at more than $13,000, beating the per unit price of crypto granddaddy Bitcoin. The only way previously to get YFI was to actively participate in the Yearn pool, to be part of the experiment. Users, depositors, not team members, not VCs, participants in Yearn got YFI, and at least so far, Cointr.ee has refused to issue more. That means, at least in theory, no large stakeholders are in control. Holding YFI means a say in governance, in how Yearn is run, how decisions are made. Cointr.ee stated it plainly enough last month when he announced YFI, and how in further efforts to give up this control, mostly because we are lazy and we don't want to do it, we have released YFI, a completely valueless zero supply token. We reiterate, it has zero financial value, there is no pre-mine, there is no sale, no, you cannot buy it, no, it won't be on Uniswap, no, there won't be an auction. We don't have any of it. But YFI and Yearn are now clashing with regard to incentives and purpose. Yield farmers, Cointr.ee's intended target audience, were expected to be all about the experiment, decentralization, and the tech. But instead, these people have greater interest in future returns on the token itself, rather than decentralized finance as a concept. YFI holders are already barking about capped supplies. They're also wondering about YFI's sustainability over time. Is it reasonable to have one man basically at the helm? Do you even decentralize, bro? Shouldn't he have a team to help build out the Yearn platform? Token speculators have also begun to question Cointr.ee's ultimate motives, wondering aloud if he is who he says he is. It's important to reiterate the irony here. Cointr.ee had at one time complete control over the platform and pools. He could have minted a zillion more YFI at any moment, and before handing off sizable amounts of the project to the Yearn community through a multi-sig wallet contract, he could have easily drained tens of millions of dollars from pools, if not more. This new, more decentralized governance model he created is now attempting a coup d'etat against Cointr.ee. And while Cointr.ee continues to help hammer out notions of fairness and governance within the extremely complex ecosystem of Yearn.finance, YFI, the token, continues to reach new price highs. It's anyone's guess as to where this all ends up, whether DeFi and yield farming accomplish more than just giving experienced and well-capitalized crypto speculators new challenges. Meanwhile, accessibility for non-technical, non-trading experts appears to be a long way off. And maybe that's not a bad thing. What's clear is that DeFi might be more than hype, and yield farming looks to be more than just an experimental playground. Real people are earning real money. Whether it implodes as a crypto subculture is still too early to tell. In the meantime, it's probably best to end with Cointr.ee's pinned tweet. Disclaimer, when I build software, I build it for myself. If you do insist on interacting with it, please use caution. There will be bugs. I will make mistakes. If you don't understand it, please don't use it. If you found this video useful, please like, share, and subscribe, or head to my Cointr.ee page and leave a message of support. Thank you so much to all the people who helped me keep this channel running, and thank you so much for watching.